Brett is hanging in today pretty good, all things considered. If we look at the chart for the past month, it's been trading within a very tight channel of 500 million on the bottom level and 650 million approximately on the top level. Right now, we're at about 540 million. So this consolidation is pretty good. And then in the last few days, obviously, we had the big pumps yesterday on the Binance US listing news. The coin was up 15% yesterday, and the entire meme coin market and everything else was down big time. So Brett was pretty much the only coin in the green, up 15% for a $500 million coin. That is pretty impressive. Today, slight pullback, but we're still up 1% on the day, which is good. Now in this video, so yesterday Crash hosted a marathon space. 11,000 people tuned in, went for over 2 hours. I listened to most of it. I am going to summarize the overall points he made in the space. He did have some good things to say. Strategy in the short term for Brett, strategy in the long run. He made some price predictions. And before we go any further with Brett, don't forget to check out my partner exchange, BTCC. They are fully available for traders in the USA like myself. No VPN or KYC is needed. If you want to sign up for an account, you can either use the code bencrypto, one word, or you can sign up using this link or any of these top 4 links here, and you can get up to $10,000 cash back. And then come August 15th, that's 2 weeks from now, they're going to be doing a huge campaign with an NBA star. I'll be giving more details of that as it becomes available. In the meantime, they have some other smaller campaigns right here, like the Hot Coins Trading Week. If you trade any of these futures pairs or any of these spot pairs within these cumulative trading volume thresholds, then you get up to $100 cash back depending on your volume. Additionally, there is the deposit reward program where if you deposit any amount of money, say $500 within 7 days of first creating an account on BTCC, then you get a $20 trading fund. Now back to Brett. Obviously, the big news was yesterday they were listed on Binance US. I covered the listing in detail in my Brett video that I posted last night. Brett also yesterday was listed on Bitfunded. This listing caters more exclusively for advanced traders. Bitfunded is a crypto prop trading firm and platform. So you can trade on Bitfunded using Bitfunded's own money, and you can only trade futures and perpetual pairs, so exclusively caters to advanced traders, whereas Binance US is almost exclusively or mostly a retail-based trading platform. But now let's get to what matters. Crash is Clay's big Twitter space he hosted yesterday. Massive turnout, 12,000 people. It went on for over 2 hours. Now, I will summarize the main points that Crash hammered home. Number one, the biggest thing he talked about is how Binance US is a US entity. So this listing is way more important than its number 23 ranking, as a spot exchange would indicate, because right now, Brett really isn't on too many US-based exchanges. They are not on Coinbase. They are not on Kraken. They are not on Robinhood Crypto. They're on a bunch of big ones. For example, Brett is listed on Bybit, the number 2 exchange, but they don't allow USA traders. They're listed on Upbit, the number 4 exchange, but that only caters to South Korean traders. And they're listed on almost every single other top 5 exchange. They are on MEXC. They're on BitGet. They're on KuCoin. They're on Huobi. They're on BingX, but none of those allows US traders. So the fact one entity under the Binance umbrella, Binance US specifically, which is a U.S. entity, has listed Brett, that is going to tremendously open the door and increase the chances that the other 3, Robinhood, Kraken, and Coinbase, will list Brett as well. Crash also mentioned, I had forgotten about this, but Brett is listed on both Coinbase Perpetuals and Binance Global Perpetuals. So those 2 entities have listed the coin to a certain extent, meaning they are semi-open to the brand, which obviously increases the chances of a spot listing of both those entities. Crash, along those lines, Crash also, reminded everyone, pretty self-explanatory, but if Binance US lists the coin, then yes, that obviously increases the chance that Binance Global lists the coin. Even though Binance doesn't really cater to US people, it still is the biggest exchange in the world. Crash also mentioned this is interesting. The summertime listing by Binance US was kind of cool, because usually exchanges wait till September, October, when the whole market's pumping to list their big trendy meme coins, the ones that cater to the retail traders. So the fact they did it dead middle of the summer, end of July, when the market's been a little slow lately, that is pretty cool. That means they were really pumped to list Brett. I think they probably did it. They wanted to win favor with big meme coin enthusiasts. They wanted to win favor with US-based base chain enthusiasts. Obviously, Solana has kind of lost a little bit of favor amongst the meme coin crowd lately. Base is really picking it up, particularly people in the US. I think this was a strategic listing by Binance US. Crash also talked about how he and the Brett team have been strategic with their exchange listings, and they've intentionally tried to not get listed on too many big exchanges too soon, which makes sense, because if you're listed on every top 10 exchange within the first, say, 6 months of a coin's life, people are more likely to sell because they're going going to think, okay, we're already listed on Coinbase and Binance, so no future exchange listing announcement is going to still happen that's going to pump the price. So I'm just going to sell my bag, look for other coins. It really makes sense. He was saying you want to list on, maybe half or of the top 10 exchanges, but leave a bunch of the big ones out. Coinbase, Binance, Robinhood, make people kind of wait for those because they're much more likely to hold and stay involved with the community. And finally, Crash did make some price predictions. So he kind of talked about, Brett, in the future when it's at certain market caps. The market caps he alluded to were Brett at $7 billion, Brett at $20 billion market cap, Brett at $40 billion. I like this, he did proactively say, no, $1 trillion is just way unrealistic. That's not going to happen. So he kind of pulling the reins with Murad, who is just like anything and everything. We're going to flip the S&P 500. But he was talking big in the tens of billions of dollars. You can't go wrong there. Anyways, that's it for now. Brett Army, drop a comment down below or just say hi or give me your price prediction. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I'll be back later in a new video. Bank, I'm signing out. Catch you later.